Hello, and welcome back to the podcast for week 2 of season 3. So, thinking about the seasons as always, as we do with the podcast, about how they might be affecting us, how we're feeling, how we're showing up for ourselves and for others. But also, I wanted to touch on this idea of the pressure of showing up fully as best we can. Now, of course, we want to show up in the best way we can, especially with new friendships or even with old friendships. There might be just a few people in your life where you can show up 100% authentically and not feel like you're going to get judged, abandoned, dismissed. But I really wanted to think about the pressures that you might, or I might put on myself of going, well, I can't meet up with that person because I'm not feeling sparky enough or smart enough, or, I'm not feeling particularly like good company. And I'm not saying that I particularly live in this space anymore. I would say that I don't move through the world with hundreds and hundreds of friends around me. I have a specific group of people that I feel very close to. That is just how I've always operated. I've always felt it quite hard to make friends and find people who are in alignment with me, because I always have felt that I'm in the middle of camps. I'm never one way. I'm never the other way. And I've talked about this before, actually, in an Instagram post. The spiritual world, for some people, I'm not spiritual enough. I am not kind of extreme enough. And that can sometimes be quite hard to forge connections with people who are very in the depths of spirituality, which is absolutely wonderful. And that's their journey. And then I also find that I'm also not normal. I'm doing little kind of air quotes here. Normal enough. I had it when I went and did my degree. I was not musical theatre enough. I didn't go home and listen to back-to-back CDs of Dina Menzel singing. I would go home and listen to rock and pop and lo-fi and jazz. So I don't know if the internet makes us feel even more like we have to decide, we have to be black and white. We're either in that camp or we're out of that camp. We either have this belief system or we don't. There is very little space for nuance. And I guess that's kind of what I'm trying to, probably very badly, allude to, is the nuances of how we show up in the world on a daily basis, depending on what we're going through, what we're managing, depending on who we have in our life. Maybe we've not seen a best friend for a really long time, and that's kind of very normal, especially like my age. Our age group, everyone is incredibly busy or have children or have moved away. My oldest and bestest friend is in Australia, so we're kind of adapting to the time difference. I'm spending a lot of time sending her very long waffly voice messages, and she sends me long messages back. And that's a shift, that's a change, isn't it? But I know that with certain friends, I am 100% who I am and they accept it. So maybe thinking of who you have in your life and who you can show up authentically with. And I think there is a pressure. I think there is a pressure to have a long list. But actually, I think even if we have like 4 people in our lives that we have this really strong, beautiful connection with, that's enough. And one of those people might be ourselves. How many times do we trick ourselves or fool ourselves into not fully engaging with who we are or how we are? This can often happen in relationships, any kind of relationships. For me personally, it's been a very long road and a very long journey of realizing who's good for me and who's not. I have often been in relationships that I have lost myself in, or my default is to be a helper, a carer, and that can get in the way. So sometimes it can feel quite hard when we're trying to learn a new way to feel as well. So if we have felt we have a default kind of setting in our relationships, and we realize that it's not been serving us, we have to then basically rewire the way we think. And that can happen through therapy, through self-reflection, through setting boundaries, through reading, through education. Like, it's so much to take on as well, because if we really want to create change for ourselves, for our immediate people in our lives, our family, our relationships, our friends, it's quite an undertaking. And also, it's a kind of lifelong journey because we're wired in a certain way. And then we might find that it kind of, our default is to feel the same way. I was also thinking about how we can bring this into our guided meditation, our yoga nidra for this week. And really, it's the piece of self-compassion, but also with it, the energy is actually quite a spring-like energy, which I think can be mirrored in the season of autumn, of liver energy rising, which is full of hope, imagination, dreaming, but also, as always, the second piece of compassion. I sat in front of my mic today and I was like, oh, what am I going to talk about? I feel like my cup is really quite empty. So just speak from the heart, which I hope I've kind of managed to do. So maybe we can actually just take a step back. What happens if we are not trying to improve, heal, level up, fix, be better? What might happen if we actually ungrip? So in a session yesterday, I had a really strong visualization. She was spinning loads of plates, these golden plates, and she was dressed in white, and it was during the gongs. And then slowly I was like, we need to take these plates down. We have to let the plates fall. And off the back of the plates falling, there was a coming back to earth. There was a regrouping. There was a grounding. If that resonates for you, I think it resonates for a lot of people in my life, a lot of my clients. Mainly my clients are women. I think most of you hopefully maybe are nodding along. The constant spinning of plates, the constant holding, the pressure of being a woman, of needing to be perfect all the time. It is still there. It is still a pressure for all of us. So maybe for this yoga nidra, we're just going to guide into a place where there is nothing to achieve, but just the presence of awareness, presence of the heart, and just how we are today, however that is. Maybe you are feeling really grumpy. Maybe that's okay. Maybe it's okay that you don't have the energy to meet up with 4 different people this week. Maybe that's okay. Maybe it's okay that you can't do a full strong yoga practice this week. Maybe you just need to lie down, put a blanket over you and breathe. So just making sure you have found yourself in a safe, calm, comfortable place for your meditation. Traditionally, we do this lying down for yoga nidra, but if you only have a moment and you're seated, that's fine too. Just really make sure that the spine is long and you are fully supported. So in this moment, any chance to wiggle, shift, kind of get rid of all the kind of final bits of movement that you want to take now, wiggling the fingertips, maybe just releasing the jaw, pulling your blanket up over your chest, and then just allowing the hands and the feet to gently come to their place of rest, long through the back of the spine and heavy through the back of the head, dropping into the present moment. Allow your awareness to come over the forehead, and that very quiet breath arrives in the nose or in the mouth. So there's nothing to do, nothing to change. Just really starting to hold how you are. And quietly observe if you've arrived here with a clinging, with a pressure on yourself to achieve relaxation. And with your next few breaths, see if you can let go of that a little bit. What lies behind all the decisions and the actions that we take for ourselves and also for others. Really start to feel space around the throat and the neck now, so the root of the tongue softening down, space between the teeth, And let's take a slightly deeper, longer breath in here. So breathe into the belly, breathing in, steady, just a receiving, no push. And trace the exhale to the edges of the shoulders and let them drop ever so slightly, just the intention, the falling away of all the holding. And we can do that another couple of times, so just a longer breath in through the nose. Again, not too much push, just a receiving, a welcoming of the breath. And this time as you exhale, a heaviness through the pelvis, through the buttocks, the hips. Just a micro ungrip. Releasing the body down against a soft blanket or your mat or your bed. You're going to gently trace 5-point star of the top of the head, the fingertips, and the soles of the feet. Almost like you're a star lying here in space. We're going to take another long breath in. So receive a rounder, fuller, beautiful breath. As you exhale, the 5 points of the star soften and expand out and away. So top of the head, fingertips and feet, toes, heavy and soft. In the center of the heart, the belly, the solar plexus, the heart space. And dancing that fine line between reaching for answers in the soul space and sitting back with a gentle, steady breath and with profound compassion. We start to recognize the sensations within the body: tingling, softness, gripping, emotion. Maybe you're managing physical pain, your health. And just hold with the breath anything that is here, but with less of a story. So if we feel any discomfort, maybe not to try to find the answer or the story behind that, but just noticing it. What is the sensation? We are recognizing the body free from our thoughts. The mind always wants to think, think, think. And now we come to the message of the body. So holding these sensations, experiences, emotions with a softness, rather than pushing away your current experience. So however your life is at the minute, rather than pushing it and fighting it, let's take a nice deep breath into the belly again. And as you exhale, you bow. You welcome in your experience. It doesn't mean that you're saying it's okay and that you want it to stay, but we bow to respect, to honor, to see it. For when we bow and allow it, it can start to move through and away and beyond. We're going to take 3 more rounds of those gentle breaths of just noticing the body as we breathe in. And whatever comes up, we honor and say yes to. We bow and allow it to move through and away as we exhale. We inhale, recognize and allow. Exhale, receive. Yes, no more struggle, no more fighting. Inhale, feel the presence of emotion, your truth, come to the surface. Honor it as you exhale. Hold it so carefully. Bow. Take a few more breaths here without my words. Releasing your last exhale. And noticing the body once again. The 5 points of the star, the limbs, the torso, the face, the mind, the neck, and just seeing the whole of yourself here. Perhaps you're feeling very connected to the earth. Maybe you are drifting or floating. But we remain tethered to the present moment. We remain connected to the now. And see if we can burrow further into the heart. We climb in, journeying into the tunnels, the caves, the jewel-filled cave of the heart. And so here lies your truth, your Shen, your power, but also your ability to find compassion and love, not only for others, but also for yourself. And again, notice if there is any holding, pushing, or force here. The heart might be very quiet for you, especially if you have gone through loss, if you are struggling with pain, or anything difficult at the moment. And come back to the recognizing and the allowing. How is the heart today? Perhaps just the heartbeat is present. Perhaps it feels heavy and weighted. Maybe it feels quite expansive and bright. But we start to nurture through compassion the whole of the body and the heart, just as you are today. Tired, stressed, anxious, worn out. We release the judgment and the narrative attached to how we are today, and we just allow it to be in the heart. In the mind's eye, pulling a moment, a person, an image, a place that fills you with gratitude. We are so lucky to have so much. And this isn't spiritual gaslighting. We are not distracting ourselves for the things that cause us pain. But we are going to pull on that sensation of gratitude in this moment. So breathe into the heart and find that image, that face, person, experience, or place. And breathe. Breathe the sensation of the place, the person, and the attachment of gratitude. I am so grateful for that. It might be a tiny thing in your house, the warmth of your bed, your favorite blanket, your pet, your morning ritual, your partner, and a friend. Really notice that effect in the heart and keep the breath steady in the center of the chest. That gratitude lands and creates a ball of golden light. And you see it moving in front of you, shifting, morphing, moving. It's so golden, so bright. It's soft. There is a softness here, maybe some oranges, ambers, gold, whites. Really feel that connection to the gratitude in the ball of light. You reach forwards, catching onto the ball of golden light, and you pull it in towards you. And it's okay if there is some resistance here. You are safe. Breathe into the chest and the heart and pull that golden light, that gratitude. Feel that gratitude and place it into your own heart. Feel the gratitude that others feel for you. Feel the compassion, the kindness, the softness for yourself. Allow it to land. Allow it to land. Allow it to land. Breathe into the heart, relaxing the jaw. Exhaling out. Feeling every part of you filled with this love and this kindness that you so often give to others. The golden light lands on the right hand. The thumb, first finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger. The palm of the hand and the back of the hand. The forearm, the elbow, the upper arm. Golden light circling the armpit, the shoulder, the collarbone, and the base of the neck. Golden light moving through the right side of the body, the ribs, the chest, scapula, small of the back of the hips, the buttock, the crease of the hips. This golden light of compassion and kindness to the right thigh, the back of the thigh, the knee, the shin, the calf, the ankle, and the heel, sole of the foot, top of the foot, the big toe, second, third, fourth, little toe. Golden light of kindness and wonder and gratitude coursing through the whole of the body, holding you just as you are. Nothing to fix, just a beautiful holding just as you are. Golden light to the left hand, the palm of the hand, the back of the hand, the thumb, first finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, the wrist, the forearm, the elbow, the upper arm. Golden light to the left shoulder, the armpit, the collarbone and the base of the neck. The left side body, the ribs, the scapula, small of the back, and the left side of the hips, the buttock, the crease of the hips, the left thigh, the back of the thigh, the knee, the shin, the calf, the left ankle. Golden light to the top of the left foot, the sole of the left foot, big toe, second, third, fourth, little toe. The left side of the body awash with compassionate golden light, just holding you, just as you are, nothing to change, nothing to fix, just holding just as you are. Golden light to the abdomen and the pelvis, the groin, the inner thighs. A golden light internally, womb space, digestion, liver, kidneys, the lungs, the stomach, and the whole of the chest. Golden light in the center of the chest, the center of the chest, the center of the chest, the throat, sides of the neck, the back of the neck, the jaw, the shell of the right ear, the shell of the left ear, the right cheek, the left cheek, the bridge of the nose, the right eye, the left eye, the right eyebrow, the left eyebrow. Golden light across the whole of the forehead, the temples, the sides of the head. Golden light to the back of the head, the base of the skull, top of the head, top of the head, top of the head. Golden light just above the top of the head, just beyond the tips of the fingers, just beyond the soles of the feet. A pool of golden light, holding every part of you, the parts that feel comfortable to be seen, the parts that you keep hidden, the stories that you share and the stories that you hide, the feelings that you express and the feelings that you hide and suppress. Like a golden thread, you are woven together here, perfect just as you are. Every moment, breath, ligament, fascia, bone, sinew is you. Feel the golden light wash from the top of the head all the way down through the body to the hands and the feet, and then back up again. A washing, a clearing. And feel the warmth land once again in the very core of you, knowing that you are enough, just as you are. Breathing here, softening with the golden light. And gradually you journey back to the physical body resting here on the earth, becoming aware of the sounds around you, the human noise outside, your heartbeat, your breath, and the golden light grows smaller as it disappears into the very core of your chest. Take as long as you need here, perhaps bringing the hands onto the body. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for taking the time to practice. As always, if you've enjoyed the session today, please like, share. I'm in a very small corner of the internet and I'm happy being here, but the more people I can help, the better. Take care of you.